Hi, welcome to this video series covering the features of the toolbox called HyperWorks LiveShip. In this video, I will be specifically covering job submission. So let's go ahead and open up our folder with all of our training models. And we have a variety of models already set up. We have a modal analysis, your kind of initial position 0, vertical lift, your turns, contact, free hang, final. So we could open up any of these right now and go ahead and submit them. So let me, my favorites, the contacting. So it'd be 8C. Go ahead and drag that in here. And we'll see that the model's, already set up. Load step inputs, load steps, solver cards, etc. So at this point, we can do job submission a couple different ways. We can export. I'll start here in the lift analysis. So there's actually three little icons here. They do a little bit difference of things, and maybe I'll start with the middle one, the big icon. This is going to be our kind of core export of the solver deck. I give you that option. So if you have a series of models that you're wanting to set up in the HyperWorks interface, you can just simply set up the model, export the FEM file, and then go back to a saved state, and then reset up for the next turn, export it, etc. Kind of repeat this. And the reason I say this is maybe you have 6 or 8 different stages that you want to run the analysis on, and each of these analysis may take 10-20 minutes or so, depending on the complexity of the model. And through a general practice that you have, you will submit your jobs overnight. And you might do that on your local workstation, you might do that on an HPC, etc. So you might want to just export the solver deck, or for OptiStruct's file extension, it's .fem. So this is one approach to doing job submissions. And we can go ahead and export that here and save those to individual folders. What we could do then is from HyperWorks, we can launch the OptiStruct Compute Console. It's basically a light job manager, and it also has a lot of options. And that's why I really like to use this Compute Console. Is OptiStruct has a lot of different solver options, and so before I get into that, let me just go ahead and load one of these model files. So let me go to U201, and we'll maybe just do the vertical one and then the vertical.fem, and that will allow us to go ahead and look at the options. So I like referencing this because there's always maybe a couple new options each release. Here we can specify the number of cores. If we're doing like a DDM type of analysis, we can specify the number of domains. We could do core in, core out. So usually core in is what you want to do. You don't want the job running on your hard drive. We could specify the amount of memory that's available. If you want to do a GPU, if you got a really high-end GPU, this could be pretty handy. Yeah, just a number of options, and we have even more here. Sometimes maybe you want to specify the maximum amount of memory that's used. Yeah, just lots of options. So if you like any of these options, you can go and write them down, and we could even submit them from the interface. So let me actually activate one of these. Let me say NT. I have 8 cores on my computer, and then say apply, close, and then all of them will be filled out here. So maybe what I'll do before I do this, well, let's go ahead and copy. Go to my desktop and we'll do a new folder here. We'll just call this test, and we'll save this. Oh, my bad. I'll go ahead and paste. There we go. Okay. And then we'll go back and type in our NT8. And let me go and hit run. And at this stage, it's going to have that screen out window, and it's going to give me a slew of information as it chunks through and analyzes the model and submits it for analysis. Meanwhile, it's running. I want to queue up another job. I'll go back here. We'll do a new one. We'll call this test 2. And we'll go here, go here. I'm just gonna zip on through here real quick. And maybe we'll do the free hang. Go ahead and copy that. And then go back to our desktop. And then we got this one. So now, again, this is maybe at the end of the night, or maybe this is lunchtime. I'm going to walk away from my workstation for a little while. I can hit run, and it's going to say, job is already running. Do you want to queue the job? And you say, yeah. So now you can go ahead and view your job queue. And you can see which models are running, which are queued, and which have been completed. So this is kind of a nice little way of submitting and managing jobs from your local work machine. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and abort this. The .out files are stored in the shared models if you want to see how long some of these jobs took to submit on my workstation, my laptop that is. And just give it a second to end. Okay, there we go. And then we'll abort this one too. Click close. Okay, click close. So again, that's if you want to queue up multiple jobs, submit it when you don't need your workstation, basically. Now, if you want to run it locally, just right from the session, you can do that here as well. Again, you don't see those options just listed here, so you have to manually import, type those in here. And then there's no optimization card, so it'll just jump right to analysis. Something else you could do, actually, if you don't want to necessarily submit it, you just want to do a check run, you can activate that here as well. And click OptiStruct, and that will submit the job. So, that's the conclusion of this video. Hopefully it kind of gave you the high level of different ways to submit your jobs, to kind of do like a local job management, whether it's from our compute console or through your active HyperWorks session. So I hope you found it helpful, and please leave us feedback on our Altair community forums.